back everyone at Tomorrow Railways with me, Elizabeth, and today we're going to look at yet another pannier tank, which is the open cab pannier tanks, and this is all part of the GWR rollout. So without further ado, let's proceed. So today's pannier tank is the open cab pannier tank, which is HORNBY's R059 class 2721 060 PT, and the logo number is number 2761, and shed allocation A for Aberdare shed. So today's pannier tank is the open cab pannier tank, which is HORNBY's R059 class 2721 060 PT. Now sadly I don't have the box anymore for this locomotive set, and let's have a look at the set as I discovered it at a swap meet that I visited locally, and I saw this train set and I just couldn't resist to get it. So starting from the top, we can see the GWR loco itself. And on the right here we can see a open wagon with a container on top, and the container is loaded in tons and capacity 720, and it says GWR and it's BK1924, and it says furniture. So obviously a nice piano that's loaded up there or anything like that, but it's definitely removable. And then to the lower part of the wagon we can see the number 39238 on the side, nicely depicted, and we see the old D couplers of Hornby, and we also see the GW Great Western marked out on the side, and then it also says 12 tons and the tire and 5120 at the edge there, and then it says to be retained for GW containers also on the side there. What a nice little addition to this this train set that is, of course, and I'm sure a person can also load cars on that. There's so much you can do with that little wagon. And then of course we have the four-wheeler express passenger coaches, which are not really a true reflection of any coaches in real life, so it is only imaginary, and for this reason it would also make a good size for any train sets, especially for the kids with the Thomas range and that, but then also spilled over into the real life lookout train sets that were available from Hornby, as we can see here, and those coaches are actually not badly finished at all, and you see the third and first class markings on it and the GWR badge, and then also the old D style couplers, and then metal wheels and side steps. Very nice. And yes, what can I say, with some lovely details inside. It doesn't matter at all to have these four-wheelers also on the layout. It just adds to all the different rolling stock that a person can have. And then of course we see the Lomac, and the Lomac MS max speed kindly depicted on the side there by Hornby, and very nicely depicted, and some other little engraving numbers on the side there, and we see there is 21st or something like that, 280996. But yes, if you haven't had a Lomac on your layout, you know, it would always be a nice gift to get this train set with this Lobet or Lomac, in other words, as part of your rolling stock. And then there is a removable container on the top there, and it says MDS and engineering handled with care. So very nice little container that goes with it. And obviously you can put anything on the Lomac like I've done. I've put the Fowler steamroller on mine and had many different videos with that, and you'll see some more videos at the end of this this series, you can see and enjoy that. Obviously also the D couplers of Hornby, the old style D couplers, and yes, the very plasticky feel to it, but it does not derail on the layout as what I would have thought initially, and it's actually very nice. I wouldn't mind having 2 or 3 more of these Lomax. And then moving at the bottom of the box, we will see the Great Western brake van, and we'll see the rail stoppers and also the old D style couplers there, and metal wheels and side steps, and some great finishes on the inside of the brake van as well. And very interesting, a very dark painted color brake wagon if I compare it to some of the other Great Western ones I do have. And there we say the GW Great Western nicely depicted on the side, and the number 114763 and 20 tons indication, and then obviously the area it was allocated to, Worcester. Now, any of you watching can maybe advise or leave a comment below with regards to this train set. If you do know this current train set of Hornby and you've got the code number or the Hornby catalogue number, I'd really appreciate that. Or any more information about this train set, I would really appreciate. I've got nothing extra in the box. I didn't have anything else for the logo, like vacuum pipes or drivers or anything, and no tracks, anything else. It was just basically the styrofoam packaging with the trains in it, and that's all I've got left. So I'm quite confused. I don't know where and which train set this might be. If somebody can help me with that, I would really appreciate it. And of course, to the rear we have the fitted handrails, the coal load, the buffers and lampons, and great finish all the way to the front of the chimney. And the GWR is also nicely depicted, and then also the running number is pointed out nicely, and the nice large D couplers again of Hornby, the older style couplers, and the red buffer beams being painted nicely. Separately fitted handrails is definitely standing out on this logo, and great look to it. Definitely, it kind of makes it look more stylish and more bit of a quality product at the end of the day. And the Pannier tank number 2761 standing out nicely. So moving on, the first thing on this Pannier tank is obviously the open cab, and that makes room for drivers and just a great finish while the logo is running on the layout. But the cab finishes is not that great, so nothing's been painted out, but just the moldings there. So if you feel like it, you can always enrich some colors there and bring out the real feel of the logo. But on the open cab we can do see the cover that's been rolled up by the cab, so that's obviously they can bring out if it's raining or if it's needed. But it's also greatly finished on the cab here, we'll see. So the smoke box door is a mold and permanently fitted handrail and smoke box door handle there, and yes, and we can see the chimney finish with the copper at the end, very nice. And this model show off a little bit more of a quality finish than our previous Pannier closed cab we had in GWR volume 3. And moving on, the dome and everything on top is greatly finished, and some different colors, blackened out like the handrails and some other tops, and the dome stands out nicely and it's green, and then obviously the release and whistles and safety valve there also out in copper color, and then the roof is blackened out, and the little windows are just amazing little windows standing out there, the cab windows. And overall, after a little bit of cleaning, this logo does perform well on the layout. But having said that, let's see what I use on the layout running this one. I don't always run the express coaches, as we know that is only imaginary coaches. They were never coaches like that in real life, but I do run the collared coaches as well as the auto coaches with this logo and some rolling stock in general. And let's have a look at that while we continue with our favorite part of the episode, when we delve into the history of this logo. So this steam tank we have on the layout today was part of the Great Western Railway GWR 2721 class of 060 pannier tanks, which were originally built as open cabs. This specific steam locomotive, the Pannier Open Cab Tank, was built at Swindon Works in December 1905 and had a very, very interesting life and lasted over 50 years in service. When GWR started to put bell pair fireboxes on their 060 tank locomotives, it seems that the saddle tanks they used up to the time were too complicated to fabricate, so the conversion started. Thus, a strange 440 tank was the final product. There were many classes and types of pannier tanks, including various absorbed engines, from 1898 to a single 440 tank. They started fitment to 060 tanks from 1903. The shape of the bell pair firebox gives a larger surface area, which improves heat transfer and steam production. George Jackson Churchward's period of chief mechanical engineer from 1901 to 1921 is well known for significant improvements in the locomotive's design and manufacturing. GWR did not produce new 060 tanks between 1897 and 1928. So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the Pannier Tank number 2781, the loco we have here on the layout today, was withdrawn from service in November 1954 from the Aberdare shed. And yes, there are lovely locos everywhere and used in so many ways, and there are so many models available from so many manufacturers, but yet another nice loco to have on the layout, and I'm quite happy about this loco. And thank you once again everyone for joining me on this Pannier Tank history. Thank you once again everyone for joining me on the GWR rollout and the end of the Pannier Tank session, and great locos indeed. So kindly stay tuned for our next episode, which will be the GWR rollout number 5. All my best regards, Elizabeth.